Hey everyone, it's been a minute, but I'm glad to be back and filming a really exciting video for you guys. This is a sneak peek at the new Natasha Denona mini Zendo palette. This is not released yet, but keep an eye out for it in the next couple of weeks for holiday. Again, it's the mini Zendo palette, and it's really beautiful. There's 2 mattes and 3 shimmers. I'll give you a closer up look. The mattes are so silky, just like her other palettes. And the shimmers are really beautiful as well, very rich. So those are the 5 shades. Each pan on this one, just like her other mini palettes, is going to be 0.8 grams. So there's 5 pans, each 0.8 grams. And here are some of the swatches. These are dry swatches with my finger. There's the first shade called Stark. Second shade, Bare. Third shade, Stripped. Fourth is called Daz. And the final shade here, the matte at the end, is called Uncovered. And I'm looking in my viewfinder here and it looks to be pretty true to color. These are the shades here. I'm really happy with this palette. It's a natural palette, but it's very feminine and very just every day or night. I could see using some of these darker shades or some of these more shimmery shades to kind of give it a little more drama. So the shade Daz, that's the 4th one over from the left. That one, I did have to do a couple of swatches, so there's a couple of layers there. It's definitely not as richly pigmented as the other 2 shimmer shades, but it does give you a little bit of pigment, and it's a little bit more of a topper shade, but I really like that in a palette. I like having some rich shimmers, and then I like having some topper shades as well. I had very little fallout with this palette, and yeah, so this is really exciting, a really exciting release from Natasha Denona that's coming up in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out. And I thought I would just share with you how it looks compared to some of the other palettes that I have, at least. Here's the other mini palette that I have, and this is the Lila palette. And the Lila palette is about the same size. It is the same size, sorry. It's 0.8 grams. This palette just has that kind of reflective plastic material, whereas this is just the trademark Natasha Denona white packaging. So those are the 2. I don't see any overlap actually in these 2. I'll put them side by side here. No overlap at all actually. And then I wanted to see if there was any overlap in the shades for the 5-pan regular size palettes. And it doesn't look like the closest one maybe would be the Camel palette here. But even then, these are much rosier and more neutral, whereas this is much warmer and more brown leaning, brown copper leaning. And then the other palette that I have to compare it to, again, there's really not any shades that have overlap. Maybe, now that I'm looking at it, maybe this shade here at the end called Uncovered looks like the browner, the kind of more of like a brown version of this one in the palette, which is called Lyria. They're both matte shades, but they're definitely quite different. You put them next to each other. Hopefully it'll show up on camera. It doesn't show up on camera. But this one is definitely more of a neutral brown shade. This one has much more coral pink in it. Yeah, so if you have any of these palettes, I don't know about the big palettes, but if you have any of these kind of smaller palettes, I don't believe there's any overlap. So when it does get released, I highly recommend it. I'm really pleased with it. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day. I will be planning some more videos coming up soon, so stay tuned and take care. Bye.